Stop being cheap. Yeah, so I had a call this morning, and again, what we've got to understand now, you as a business owner, you as a martial arts school owner, you've got to always look at things through. Of course, I'm not trying to get into abundance versus scarcity mindset here. There's more money in the world now than there's ever been. Okay, money is out there, but what I'm getting at is you need to look at things in your business as, is it a cost? Sorry, is it an investment or is it an expense? So some people are saying, well, I don't want to pay for this because it might not work. I don't want to pay for this again because I might not get the results I want to. How will you know if, again, you don't listen to your mentors or if you've never done it before? So for us, don't listen to the BS that the marketing rep tell you, going back to the days when we used to advertise in Yellow Pages or something, some sort of local rubbish magazine near our area. They'd always be like, yeah, you'll your school will be flooded with new, students. The phone will be ringing off the hook. But then as soon as you flip it back to them and say, well, I'll tell you what then, why don't we, every member we get through these doors, why don't I pay you £100? That way you'll be getting like 10 times more than you're getting from my ad spend. How many of them do you think actually took that on? Yeah, you guessed it, none of them. All right. So it's always got to be backed up on results. So I suppose what I'm trying to say here is, when I say stop being cheap, is look at things on a return on investment. So again, I suppose I'm going to do a bit of a hybrid video here ish. So from our property side of things, because again, I'm a property investor and I help people on the property investing journey as well, some of my mentees. Some of you might be willing to drop in 20, 30,000 pounds into a deal and leave it there because you're happy with that cash flow, you're happy with the capital growth, you're happy with your business because that provides you with the money that you need. Some people, though, want to try and pull out as much money as possible, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sacrifice the cash flow, but then they'll move on to the next thing and they know that they haven't got that much of their own money left in that deal. So the same is, or similar really, is true with your martial arts training, okay, or with your martial arts school. You should be looking at things on a return on investment. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to pay £1,000 for this for a month, and if it falls in its place, if I don't get any intro traffic, if I don't get any calls, I know not to do it again. Or I'm going to spend £200 to go to this day. It's going to cost, my team is going to go. We then need to pay our entrance fee. We're then going to set up a stall. We'll see what it's like, and we'll see if we pick up any traffic. On a side note, though, most of the successful things that we've ever done is going directly into primary schools. The only negative there is that you don't have the what classes of bill payers there in the lesson, so you have to give them leaflets and so on with an incentive to call you, or things that we've done in the community where parents are there, where they can actually see, and then you're speaking to them to book them in. So again, look at things from a return on investment. So how many of you now have spent £13 on my book? How many of you? Obviously, I won't know. Um, that's £13, and I can guarantee that you should be able to get your £13 worth by reading probably the first two chapters. And I don't know how many chapters in there. There's 330 pages in there for you to absorb and bring into your martial arts school, if you're serious though. So don't step over pounds to pick up pennies. That was one thing that one of my great mentors used to teach me, and it's one thing that I try and pass on to my kids there as well. Money circulates, okay? So you're not going to become successful by just trying to hoard as much money as you can. You need to invest it again, invest it in yourself, invest it in, again, like properties, assets, invest it into your business in order for more money to come back to you, and then just keep repeating that cycle. Um, Again, this is a bit an off the cuff video, but we've got to be thinking to ourselves, you're either going to learn, I'm sure I put this in the book, you're either going to learn or pay through mistakes or pay through education. So I've made endless mistakes, both in the property journey and in the martial arts school business running days. So make the mistakes and then pay for them that way, or invest in a mentor who can speed up your journey and tell you what works and what doesn't work. They can highlight to you the pitfalls and so on, and they'll be able to look around corners that you might not even thought was possible because they're basing it off their experience. So yeah, just again, try not to be cheap. If you, what else now? If, how can I say this? If you keep doing what you've already always done, you're going to keep getting what you've already got, or what you've. Let's say that again. If you keep doing what you've already done, then you're going to keep getting what you've already gotten, I think the saying is. So in order for you to improve, in order for you to change, you need to change. You need to raise your game, okay? Surround yourself with A players, invest in a mentor, read more books, but implement what you know. Knowledge is great, it's fantastic, but it's implementation of that knowledge. So yeah, just try not to have that cheap type of mentality. Of course, track your expenses and cut things out that you don't need. I'm not saying spend, for willy nilly or anything like that. I'm saying look at what you're spending. Is it an expense that can be cut or at least trimmed down, or is it an investment? So any type of marketing should always be classed as an investment. Any education, you might be one of my mentees. You might look to become one of my mentees. That is you educating yourself, because a bit like your art, those skills that you have can't be taken away. Well, there's things in here cannot be taken away. But yeah, good luck everybody. Subscribe to the channel. But I wasn't trying to rant it or anything, but try not to be cheap. Don't step over pounds to pick up pennies. Look for the bigger picture. Okay? Realize that there's going to be a return on investment, and it's up to you to try and get the most out of that return on investment. Anyway, good luck everybody. Subscribe to the channel, and